What's up, nerds, and welcome to the Nerd History Podcast, a proud part of the Love Thy Nerd Podcast Network, and your home for celebrating the nostalgia that shaped the world of nerd culture today. I am Radio Matt, and I'm the Director of Content and Resources for the Love Thy Nerd. Everything, YouTube channel, podcast network, articles, all that fun stuff. And with me today, and forevermore, is my amazing bride, Deidra.
Hi, I'm Deidra, and I'm in charge of nothing.
That's my Today in Nerd History voice. I don't know if you get to see the shorts or not, but that's how I open up every that shaped the world of nerd culture. Today is November 1st. We are the Nerd Historians, and today on the show, we are taking a look at the history of the Grinch. Hence us using the two words layout, because it's green, like the Grinch. Also, I was too lazy to set it up.
You just tattled on yourself?
I'm not going to lie. This is a Christian-themed podcast. The Grinch, the latest movie version, celebrating its 6th anniversary in a little over a week. That would be 2018's Illumination's animated The Grinch.
That's been out for 6 years.
And it's based on the book that celebrated its 67th anniversary this past October 12th.
Wow.
1957.
Wow.
Long time ago. So we're going to talk about all 4 iterations, essentially. It's kind of a little bit of a freewheeling, just our thoughts and which one's the best.
Okay.
We're going to talk about a little bit. I got some fun facts for each of them. And we'll just kind of talk about what's our favorite, what's not our favorite, why, all that fun stuff. But we couldn't get into the film versions without talking about the book.
Of course.
Okay. So Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, published October 12th, 1957. This beloved children's book tells the story of the Grinch, a bitter creature who despises Christmas, and the Whos who live in Whoville. From his mountaintop lair, the Grinch devises a plan to ruin Christmas by stealing the Who's presents, decorations, and food. However, he's surprised when the Whos still celebrate Christmas joyfully, teaching him that Christmas is about more than just material gifts. The story captures themes of kindness, redemption, and the true spirit of Christmas, remaining a holiday classic. Mm-hmm. I don't know that I've ever read the book. In fact, I don't think I knew. I guess in the back of my mind, I knew it was a book before it was a TV special, but I've never read it.
I feel like we had the book when I was little and read it.
Well, here's some fun things. Okay.
I might have thought that the book was like based on the movie.
Based on the TV special?
Yeah.
I mean, they came around pretty quickly.
Like as a kid.
Well, I say that. It was almost 10 years later, but it was so long ago, everything just seems compiled into that time. Mm-hmm. Dr. Seuss, whose real name was Theodore Geisel, was inspired by his own Grinch-like feelings during the holiday season to write this book, feeling irritated by the commercialization of Christmas, even back then. The book's original artwork was done in simple black, white, and red, only adding green to the Grinch when it was later adapted for TV.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so we never knew what color the Grinch was in the book. He was just an outline. Huh. It took Dr. Seuss just a few weeks to write How the Grinch Stole Christmas, which is a remarkably short time for a children's book, especially one with so much rhyming anapestic tetrameter, which is the poetic meter that he used for this book, which gives it a more flowing, rhythmic feel.
Okay.
I knew none of these words before researching this. The book became an instant classic upon publication, sold over 6 million copies, became a cultural staple, adapted multiple times over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, we don't really have much connection to the book. But
now I want to get it, so I can read it to the kids. Yeah.
So let's move on.
Okay.
To the TV special. TV special is what both of us grew up watching multiple times every year until 2000. And then we didn't really watch that as much anymore. We'll talk about why. December 18th, 1966, it premiered on CBS. It was directed by Chuck Jones. This animated special brought Dr. Seuss's tale to life with iconic narration by Boris Karloff, who also provided the Grinch's voice, with its vibrant animation and memorable soundtrack, including You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. This version deepened the Grinch's character. This adaptation quickly became a Christmas tradition on television, lauded for its faithfulness to the original story and Jones's signature animation style. Boris Karloff is famous for playing Frankenstein's monster.
Okay.
He narrated and voiced the Grinch, giving kind of a mysterious charm to the character. You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch was sung by Thurl Ravenscroft, who was also the voice of Tony the Tiger in Frosted Flakes commercials at the time. They're great. You're a mean one. The animated special was directed by Chuck Jones, a Warner Brothers animation legend for Looney Tunes cartoons, who gave the Grinch his distinctive Looney Tunes-esque look. Now, I noticed that even as a kid.
That he looked like a Looney Tune?
That he looked like like when he smiles and does that big smile, his whole face kind of like curves up and everything. That's like Wile E. Coyote. That's like, that's how the Looney Tunes do their evil smiles. Like it just had that very similar. And then like the little Cindy Lou Who, like her head's the same shape as Elmer Fudd's head. Like these are things that I noticed as a kid.
I never noticed.
Oh man. It's only 26 minutes long, which does make it a decently long Christmas special compared to most of them. Like even the Charlie Brown ones, it's like two different cartoons.
Right.
In most of them. I don't think the first one. The first one's just one story, isn't it? Yeah.
It's just one story.
Dr. Seuss.
About 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Dr. Seuss was heavily involved in the adaptation and even rewrote parts of his own book to suit the special's format.
Okay, see, now I really want to read the book because I feel like I would notice the difference having seen the little cartoon so much.
Right.
Yeah. And did they come out with a book that's like adapted to the movie and then there's the original, I
think so. And then there was a re-release of the book in 1985. And I think they colored it at that point.
Okay.
Because those are the two like publication dates. It's the original and then the 1985 one. I can't imagine why else. Yeah, the best year, arguably
everything
the best
good
year.
Came out.
Everything great came out in 1985. Nintendo Entertainment System, Back to the Future. What more do you need? There's a lot more, but I can't remember all of them.
You were born.
Me.
Yeah.
Just the greatest guy. I feel like of all things that has really permeated the culture, it's the song. That, and not any of the remakes either. The original You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. It has no real direct reference to Christmas in it.
Right.
Like, I don't think it mentions anything Christmassy. It's just all about how rotten this one character is.
Right.
And yet it is a Christmas
song
classic.
Yeah.
Everywhere. There are several remakes of it. One of my favorites is by Sixpence None the Richer, of all people, of all bands. It's great.
Yeah.
It's just,
how many choirs do you think have sang that song over the years?
So many, didn't
at their
we?
Concert. I feel like yes.
one of us, one of the years did at least.
Right. At least in like some medley, where you sing parts of a bunch of them.
It's just like if you had an alien come and land down here and you're trying to explain Christmas by letting him listen to the radio, and that comes on, he's like,
what does that have to do with Christmas?
What's going on with that one?
Stop talking about Santa.
Who's this monstrous character? But gosh, it's such a good song. So funny, but so fun to sing. I just can't get over it.
Yeah.
And so, of course, that's the childhood nostalgia. That's the hit in the heart. That's the really makes it feel like Christmas time kind of thing. But again, only 26 minutes. Relatively short story. They get through it and it's done. But they wanted to make it into a movie twice. But let's start with the first one.
Do we have to?
November 17th, 2000, Jim Carrey stars as the Grinch in How the Grinch Stole Christmas, a live-action film directed by Ron Howard, and expanded on the Dr. Seuss story by adding a backstory for the Grinch and his reasons for hating Christmas. Carrey had the energetic and expressive performance, which brought a new humorous take to the character, while the movie's elaborate Whoville sets and makeup designs were visually striking. The film diverged from the original plot, focusing on themes of acceptance and forgiveness while retaining the book's central message. A couple fun facts. Jim Carrey's transformation into the Grinch required extensive makeup, taking about 3 hours each day to complete, and he likened the process to torture. In fact, I believe they had to provide him with like a counselor that was trained in like PTSD and stuff like that during filming because he was starting to lose his mind having to do it every day.
Wow.
The movie was the first Dr. Seuss adaptation to be made into a live-action feature, leading the way for other hits like The Cat in the Hat. Oh. Sorry, I had a hairball. It was awful. That was so bad. It was the worst. I'm sad I'm even reminding you that the movie exists.
Right, yeah.
Luckily, I think it stopped there. I don't think we did another live-action
I don't think
Seuss
so.
after Mike Myers just
Right.
wet the litter box. The set design was so detailed that it earned the film an Academy Award for Best Makeup thanks to the elaborate costumes and stylized Whoville. Carrey improvised many of his lines, as Carrey is wont to do, adding his own quirky humor to the Grinch's character and making the role distinctively his own. And the Whoville scenes were filmed on the Universal Studios backlot using elaborate sets that visitors can still see on studio tours.
That's cool.
So let's talk about our initial reactions to that movie.
Actually, I really like the movie.
Me too.
And I have liked it. The only thing it's just not very kid appropriate.
It isn't.
So
Better than Cat in the Hat.
yes.
Cat in the Hat was so not kid appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah. There's just some things and you're like, when you're watching it with littles. And it actually, Jim Carrey kind of scared Eli when he was little. And so we really didn't watch it.
I don't think he still doesn't like it, right? I don't think we watch it at all.
Yeah. I don't know that I've watched it with them in years.
Yeah.
And
it's funny.
yeah, it is funny. And I would not mind watching with it when they're older.
Right. But it does the thing, which I hate when they do. And that's exactly what you're talking about, is adding in jokes for parents that they know are going to go over the kids' heads. Because for some reason, people get into their heads that parents won't enjoy this movie if we don't have some sort of sex jokes
Right.
hidden in the background. Because that's what parents like. Sex jokes when they're watching movies next to their kids
child
in the theater. Yeah. We needed the keys in a fishbowl scene for the two old ladies. That's what we really needed. That's what got us through that movie as parents.
Okay, do you remember that you had to explain to me what that was?
I did. I'm very proud of you. Still very proud of your innocence. And I apologize that I was not as innocent. So the additions to the story.
I also really like Cindy Lou Who's song.
Oh, remind me what the song is.
Where are you,
right.
Christmas?
Where are you, Christmas? Why can't I find you? It's about 2 minutes too long for me.
adorable little girl singing it. It's so cute. I'm going to teach it to Natalie.
Teach it to Natalie. I'll love it if Natalie sings it. But the additions to the story.
And she means Christmas. Sorry.
It's true. Her name does mean Christmas. Which we learned long after we named her.
I think we knew, but we were like,
I don't think I knew before we named her.
What?
That her name meant Christmas Day? I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so.
I remember being in a car and looking up the meanings of a bunch of names. So.
Anyway, the additions to the story. The backstory of the Grinch. So we got to see the Grinch as a child in an orphanage.
I think so.
Like he was being...
What? No.
No, not an orphanage.
No,
he was being
with the
born.
old ladies.
That's right. He got left. I'm just thinking of school. I'm sorry. So we saw him in the basket
Right.
that floats down. Oh, that was the other joke.
Another
Looks like your
inappropriate
boss.
joke.
Why does he look like your boss? That one you even have to explain because your kid's going to ask, what does he mean? And you're like,
That baby.
I don't know. Babies
looks
are weird, man. The Grinch. So who knows where the Grinch came from?
Right.
Doesn't have parents that are Grinches that we see, I guess is what I'm thinking of.
Right.
It's like he's adopted by the two old ladies.
Right. Yeah.
So he's still kind of an orphan.
Right. Yeah.
There we go. That's what I meant. That's what I meant all along. He, as a child in school, is very creative. But that creativity gets him mocked by the future mayor kid. He likes the girl. What's the girl's name? Do you remember?
Well, I might have been able to say it if you hadn't asked me what the name was. And my brain was like, you don't even know that.
I don't remember any of their names. I should have looked that up. Anyway.
It's going to bother me.
The mayor and his wife. Or not wife.
No.
Fiance, eventual fiance. Kind of. It's complicated and
he
weird.
gets teased by the mayor because the mayor likes the girl and
Right.
the Grinch likes the girl and she
kinda
starts
likes
batting her
him.
eyes at the
Yeah.
Grinch and so he makes fun of him.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it. And they were giving gifts to each other in school. And the future mayor kid gave him a razor. The gift of a Christmas shave. No, that's not what he gave him. That's what he gave him in the... I'm getting this all messed
No,
up.
that's both. That's both.
No, he didn't give him the gift when they were a kid. He tried to shave his face and he
you're
cut
right.
it all up.
You're
Such
right.
a confusing movie.
Because he called him.
Because he called him Fuzzface or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to get this together. I promise. So he tries to impress the girl. And would you look it up? Would you look the name up for me? The girl, just Google it.
The girl.
Get the old Google machine. The
That
Grinch's
lady.
love interest in Jim Carrey. Builds a really beautiful angel tree topper as well
Yes.
to give to her. And when everybody is laughing at him because he has cuts on his face from shaving, he, in a fit of rage, destroys said tree topper and runs out of the school, presumably to never be seen again. What's the name of the girl?
Martha May.
Martha May.
Uvier.
Uvier. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyway,
So why are we talking about this?
in an attempt to humiliate the Grinch, he is set up by the mayor as an adult, invited to be the holiday cheermeister, where this is the scene I don't like.
Oh, the pudding.
The fudges and the puddings. Because even the fudge, there's one that was like a googly green thing that shoves in his mouth and it's just hanging out the side. He's got all that fudge. Blah. The fudge dudge. I like that guy's voice. The mayor. Mayor's a good voice. It's a funny scene, but it has nothing to do with the original story.
Right.
There's so much added. The whole love interest thing is a whole added thing.
Right. And they even, like Cindy Lou Who's story, it was also added.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For her, it's like she took on the role of being disenchanted with Christmas. Mm-hmm. Like the Grinch just hates people in the movie. And she's the one that's like, the commercialization of Christmas is getting me all out of the spirit. And I'm only 5.
Yeah.
But she basically finds the spirit of Christmas in redeeming the Grinch.
Right.
Which is fine.
It's fine, I guess.
They come to some sort of an agreement by the end. Everyone's fine. Everyone's forgiving other people. Who knows? I do enjoy how they did the actual like stealing of Christmas. I think that was really fun. Mm-hmm. I think my favorite scene of the whole thing is just when the narrator is saying, mentions the word slunk, and he just goes, slunk. I just love it. Loved it so much. Loved it. They did it really well. Uh-huh. The part where the climax where like his heart is growing and he wants to return it all, and oh no, Cindy Lou Who's hanging for her life off the edge of this mountain, and all that kind of stuff, and how he gains the strength of a mother whose child is being run over by a car, lifts it over his head,
right, because I love how he's like, it's just stuff, and then he's like, oh crap, there's a girl.
But I think the best parts of this movie were all of the montages, because Jim Carrey does a montage so perfectly. The figuring out what he's going to wear to the event. That's
it. I'm not going to.
Also, just his stuff alone in the cave.
Yeah.
He's going through the schedule. 7:30, dinner with me. I can't cancel that again. Such good stuff. Even the mocking of Ron Howard at one point with the hat on and everything.
Yeah.
It's that kind of stuff.
Directing the dog,
That kind of stuff really, really brings home that movie for me. It takes away from all the flaws. Like it makes me forgive all the flaws just to see all that stuff. I'm going to watch it. Gosh darn it. I'm going to watch it this weekend.
Before Halloween.
Before Halloween even happens, I'm watching it. Well, by the time you're listening to this, Halloween already happened. But still,
that's true.
I'm watching it. Let's see. So, I mean, good movie. Little intense. And they said, the sets or everything earned them awards. The sets are like in an almost unsettling, like they built them to be reminiscent of real things, but to be just off enough to make you uncomfortable. Some are very off, like the postage, like the boxes that are being stamped or whatever. That just makes no sense the way they're doing it, and it looks completely campy. But other things you're like, this is very similar to real things, but it's not a real thing. It's made to make you, but it's made to make you feel uneasy.
I've never felt uneasy from the sets. Now. Maybe so.
Same way as like the Grinch's gut. It's made to make you feel uneasy. All right, let's move on. Good movie, but let's move on to the most recent movie. And I think it's more polarizing, which I think you and I have found out and are confused by.
I don't know what you mean.
Like, not a lot of people like it.
Oh, yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. In 2018, Illumination created The Grinch, a computer animated version. more polished, modern take on the Grinch's story, with Benedict Cumberbatch voicing the title character. This adaptation softens the Grinch's personality, depicting him more as a misunderstood, lonely figure rather than outright mean. It expands his relationship with Max, his loyal dog, and Cindy Lou Who, adding new heartwarming scenes while remaining closer to the original story than the 2000 film. This version does update the Grinch's journey with an emphasis on kindness and community. Mm-hmm. Different story, different focus. Mm-hmm. Benedict Cumberbatch voiced the Grinch with a softer, more playful tone, intentionally deviating from Jim Carrey's interpretation and capturing a more sympathetic version of the character. The adaptation took 3 years to produce. Pardon me. It featured a new storyline for Cindy Lou Who, unlike the original, is determined to trap Santa.
Yeah.
To ask him a special favor for her mother. Mm-hmm. So her goal is more focused on help for mom.
Yeah.
Instead of finding Christmas. Mm-hmm. Pharrell Williams narrated the film, bridging classic and modern storytelling, while Tyler, the creator, performed a new version of You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. The kind of rap version that they did. Mm-hmm. Or hip-hop version, not really rap.
I don't like rap. But I like the song enough. So.
It was pretty good. The movie was a huge success at the box office, earning $500 million worldwide, making it the highest grossing holiday film of all time up to that moment. So why are there so many people that say they don't like it?
Yeah.
I think too many people are comparing it to the Jim Carrey version. And they are really very different movies.
They are.
In almost every way.
Uh-huh.
Almost every single way.
You watch the original and then watch it and then see how that...
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that it's still really different. There's so much added to this one too.
Well, you have to.
Yeah, with and all in different ways. Mm-hmm. So one of the more striking things that I noticed immediately when we first watched it was exactly what they're talking about here is how he's perceived.
Right.
In the Jim Carrey version, when he goes shopping, he's like wearing a fake mask. And he's
because everyone's scared of him.
Yeah, and he's playing little tricks on everybody, but he's still trying to hide. And whenever his mask is off, people freak out. In the new one, he just goes shopping and no one cares that he's there. He's mean to a lady, but not like scary.
Right.
Just like, hey, can you hand me that thing? Okay, sure. Drops it. I mean, right. That's all it is. It's just like, oh, okay, he's just a grump.
They're not,
just the town grump.
Right. Yeah.
Essentially.
They're not like mean to him.
Right.
You know.
Or afraid of him.
Yeah.
Either
They're
or.
All very pleasant.
He's just like the curmudgeon of the town who lives up on the mountain for some reason. Mm-hmm. But even like the one character that we see when he's walking home, the Kenan Thompson character, thinks he's his best friend.
That's my favorite character. Who taught Fluffy to fly? I don't know what the dog's name was, but Mabel? I don't remember.
Mabel? I don't remember. That's my best friend right there. I love whenever Kenan Thompson is in anything, and he did great in that voice. It's such a good movie. The other thing that struck me was nearly all of the Christmas music featured.
I love all the Christmas music.
Is religious.
Yes.
It's the religious Christmas music, which you do not ever
get to hear.
Get.
Don't you dare sing a song
that mentions Jesus Christ, our
That's
Lord
not
and
what
Savior.
Christmas is. Come on.
Like, I was very,
God
very
rest
surprised.
you, merry gentlemen in there. Love it.
So good.
Such a good scene, too.
Where he's like just surrounded by Christmas. It's almost threatening to him. So good.
Yeah.
I think the animation is fantastic. Of course, it's Illumination. They're responsible for the Minions and some other uglier ones, but animation here is really good.
It is.
Pays tribute to the original design a little better. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot more on the heartwarming side as opposed to the Jim Carrey one. I don't ever feel heartwarmed aside from maybe that song and the very last scene of them eating the big meal. But you don't really feel that overall sense of...
That's true.
You get that a lot throughout this movie. Which I think it also draws it in. Because you can see constantly that he's really fighting it.
Right.
Like he wants to be into Christmas and he's really trying not to be.
Right. But don't touch it. He's even with the dog and the reindeer, he's like, yeah.
Reindeer also an addition.
Yeah, cute.
What was his name? Bob? Hugo? Something like that. Barry? Harry? Look up the name of the...
Look up the name of the reindeer. I didn't even know you had a name for him.
But that was a fun addition. And makes sense. Like he's like, if we're gonna do this whole sleigh thing, we should probably have a reindeer.
Right.
And so it almost gives him an excuse for having to just rely on Max.
Fred.
I knew it was something innocuous. Yeah, loved that. Loved the callback on him later as well. Fun addition to it. I did like the Cindy Lou Who and the other kids and their whole scheme that they were putting on. I thought that was fun. That was very more kid at Christmas like. The other kid's just eating waffles the whole time. It was great.
One kid's got a timer. His parents are like, I'm setting the timer.
It was just this movie is the Grinch to me now.
Yeah.
Like it's the top one of all the other formats.
November 1. What am I doing with the kids? We're watching the Grinch.
Yes, and you will watch it. You will watch it 7 or 8 times before the end of the season. By the way, that's today. If you're listening to the podcast on the release day, November 1.
Sorry.
So enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's okay. We don't have to give the illusion that this is actually the day that we're recording. Just letting you know. You listening right now.
Go watch it.
She's watching it today.
Right. Yeah. Watch it with me. Not like at my house or anything.
I'm not inviting you here. Just in spirit. You watch it where you are. I'll watch it where I am. We'll all have a Merry Christmas. Yeah, I mean, look, we weren't going to dive crazy deep into this. It's really just a nostalgia. We love this story.
Yeah,
I'm glad that it has persisted for so long and it's still popular. Ain't nobody watching The Year Without a Santa Claus every year, you know?
What's that?
Exactly. There's few Christmas specials that you watch every year.
Every year, yeah.
Grinch, Charlie Brown, probably Rudolph.
Home Alone.
Well, that's not a special. That's a movie. Get over yourself. Don't make me do this again. I had to do this with Mo and the other show of distinguishing between what's a Christmas special and what's a Christmas movie.
But we were just talking about the Grinch movie.
But I was talking about the special. Anyway, there's so few of those specials.
What's that one with the mouse that you watch?
'Twas the Night Before Christmas.
Yeah.
So good. That's such a good special. Not enough people know about it. It's so good.
You
It's
did
such
a song
classic.
from them.
I did.
Yeah.
I re-recorded the Even a Miracle Needs a Hand song.
But I can't do it alone, so here's what we're gonna do. You wish and I whittle. You drip and I'll dry. Let's all try to help a little, 'cause even a miracle.
My own version. It's beautiful. You can get my album on YouTube. The channel at Radio Matt LTN. Just look for the album named Stay Between the Gumdrops. Full Christmas album I released last year. Had a lot of fun putting it together. You can also hear it, most of the tracks, on the LTN Radio Christmas channel, which launches today, November 1st, and will last for 2 solid months.
Sweet. I'm going to be listening to that at work.
For the first few years of Back Row Radio and then LTN Radio, we just added a bunch of Christmas music to the main channel. And as we got closer and closer to Christmas, we would like take over every evening. It'd be Christmas music for like 6 hours. And 2 years ago, 2 Christmases ago, I got a lot of people saying, hey, stop it. We are so sick of Christmas music, we don't want it. And so we put it out there the next year. Like, should we do its own channel? Have just a little bit of Christmas music on the main channel to basically give us the opportunity to say, hey, there's more of this happening right now over on the Christmas channel. Come check it out. And people were all for it. So there's 2 kinds of people. There's the people that barely want any Christmas music and the people that want nothing but. And I'm a nothing butter.
Me too.
For 2.
You are,
Nothing butter. I think that's the first time that's ever been said. Those words.
I'm a nothing
I'm
butter.
a nothing butter when it comes to Christmas music. And I will be for 2 whole months.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, man,
Same.
my face hurts.
Same. I
said it so naturally.
I am signing. So we sign Christmas cards at work, like starting now. We've been signing them, right?
So I have a lot.
Because we have like 600.
That's more than I even thought.
Yeah. And so we're signing away, starting in October, all the way through, because we get our cards out December 1st. And I'm like signing Christmas cards and singing Christmas songs, and I'm like wanting to put on a Christmas song already.
Frankly, I love the Christmas season and want to soak up every little bit of it as long as I can. So, like, on Christmas Day, I get depressed because I know it's done. I know the next day we're packing it all up and it's gone.
Hardly.
For the year.
What are you talking about?
What's the longest we ever kept our tree up? Almost Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
1 year?
Yeah. You pointed out that Valentine's Day was like tomorrow or something.
made a
And so I
post
put the
of,
tree
like,
away.
Will it make it to Valentine's Day?
I'll just go buy little heart ornaments.
Social media
and we'll be
shamed you
fine.
into getting the tree down.
Okay. I think I'm calling you out if you're listening. I think the Kellys have their tree up all year.
What?
I was in July.
Does she just decorate it for different seasons?
I think so, because in July, we were at their house for her daughter's birthday party, and I look and I'm like, I think that's their Christmas tree. Who's got their Christmas tree up?
Who has a birthday tree up? Is that a new tradition?
Sure.
That's
I'm pretty
funny.
sure. Yeah.
They're just calling you out. You have 24 hours to respond.
Well, at this point, just leave it up. I mean,
Right. Leave your Thanksgiving tree up for another month. Then you can take that whole tree down and put up your Christmas tree.
yeah.
Fool everybody. We hope that we have been the first taste of Christmas for you this year, other than walking through Walmart on October 25th.
Right. 20th.
Yeah. Operation Christmas Child Collection Week is happening in about 2 weeks. I think it's November 18th, whenever that is. So if you are someone who's a part of a church that does that, what are you waiting for? Get those boxes filled. If you are not a part of a church or organization that does it, I encourage you to go check it out. Operation Christmas Child. I cannot say it fast.
Say OCC.
Just Google it. Google Operation Christmas Child. Pull it up. You can even build a box online. You don't even have to go to the store. You can like pick out everything that's going to go in the box, and then they will piece it together for you and ship it out. Fantastic ministry. It's been going for years now. We've been a part of it for
Forever.
2 decades at least. Every year we've been doing our own individual boxes, but these last 2 years we've been heading up a full packing party at our church. And so we're buying bulk amounts of things to go on. We've been doing this year we got like yo-yos and poppets and jump ropes and teddy bears and all kinds of things, plus hygiene items and school supplies, all this going to kids in areas that they normally don't get this stuff probably all year long. This might be the only kind of gift with these things in it that they're going to get for the whole year. And so go check it out if you haven't even heard of it, or if you haven't participated, and just see how powerful of ministry this is. It's been around and been going for so long that there are dozens and dozens and dozens of testimonies from adults now who received a shoebox as a kid, and that was the catalyst to them coming to faith, them bringing their families to faith, starting churches in these areas that don't have Christian churches. And then many of them grew up to come and work for Operation Christmas Child themselves. It's fantastic ministry. Our buddy Thomas Manning, the voice of LTN Radio and Love Thy Nerd as a whole, works for Operation Christmas Child as well. I gotta stop saying the phrase because I'm gonna just keep mumbling it. But this is a shout out to him and all the hard work that he and his team are doing as well. And a thank you to him for being a part of Love Thy Nerd and lending his vocal talents to all of our station IDs on the radio, and everything that we need to sound really professional in, he does for us. And we've got a couple more episodes coming up this season before the month is over. And then we'll be taking a break. But you're not rid of us yet. Since it's just November 1st, we've got 2 more episodes coming in November. So 3 in November. Merry Christmas. But consider this our Christmas episode, because our next 2 won't be talking about Christmas at all. That's just the way it is. All the Christmas movies come out in November. There's nothing you can do about it.
That's true.
Subscribe to the Nerd History Podcast via our brand new YouTube channel, youtube.com/@NerdHistoryLTN, or on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of the audio versions as well. You can find us at lovethynerd.com/nerdhistorypod. We also have our daily Today in Nerd History video shorts that are now fully shorts. Like they're YouTube shorts, their TikToks, their Instagram, Facebook Reels.
They're not pants.
That's where you will find them now. They are not long pants. They are not widescreen pants. They are shorts. Not cargo shorts, because we're not making them into long pants anymore. Those zip-up shorts, you know what I mean? That's what I was saying. The shorts where you could zip the legs on and off. This has really gotten away from me. It's your fault. I blame you. We'll be back with a new episode in 2 weeks, hopefully. And we are going to be taking a look at Doomsday. And no, we're not talking about the election day. But until then, I'm Radio Matt.
And I'm Deidra.
And remember, in the past, present, and future,
Jesus loves you, nerds.